When it comes time to play games on your Nintendo GameCube Game Boy player, like we have Super Mario Kart Super Circuit behind me, a lot of people want something better than the standard GameCube controller. And for years, the Hori digital gamepad has pretty much been like the gold standard. It's comfortable, it's shaped like a Super Nintendo controller, it's got a better button layout, it's got a better D-pad. This has been just the standard. Well, the team over at Retro-bit have answered back with what they are calling the Legacy 16. This is the next generation digital gamepad designed for the Nintendo GameCube. Let's give you a closer look at this, see how it comes out of the box, and compare it to the Hori digital gamepad. So taking a look at the back of the box here, you can see on this side right here, it is compatible with the Nintendo GameCube and the Wii. Macros allow D-pad to function as an analog or a C-stick. Includes a 10-foot long cable length and turbo functionality. The overall layout, you do have the GameCube style buttons here, the turbo functionality, dual Z triggers on the top. Overall, very similar and definitely inspired by that Hori digital gamepad, but this Platinum Edition controller does a few things quite differently. So here you can see we do have the LegacyGC on the bench here, and you do have your turbo and your other function buttons here on the face. Now, one major difference here on this controller versus the Hori controller is the position of that Z button. Here it is on the face of it. On the LegacyGC, you actually have dual ZL and ZR buttons. Your L and R triggers here up top too feature good throw, good feel to them. D-pad feels great as well. And then you do also have the ABXY sort of jelly bean style controllers that the GameCube style controller actually came with. And then your start and select buttons on the bottom. Now, the bottom here does have a slight difference over the Hori pad, and where this is actually shaped a lot more like a Super Nintendo controller, where it kind of has that cutout here. On the LegacyGC, this is more, it's one solid mold here. You can see how it's kind of scalloped here, but it doesn't have that full cutout. Now, for me, that's no big deal, because the way you hold the controller, it's not like your fingers are going to rest here or anything anyways. That's just dead space. So for me, if that's what they needed to do to be able to make a controller like the Hori digital pad that did not infringe on any of their designs or patents or anything, this is a pretty easy way to do that. Let's go ahead, let's get this hooked up, and let's test it out. So we do have everything hooked up to our Nintendo GameCube, and one of the good things about this nice long controller cable is the fact that my GameCube is about 8 feet behind me, so that gives me about 2 feet of slack. Now we do have Super Mario Kart, or Mario Kart Super Circuit in here. As you saw by hitting the ZR button, I can go ahead and change any of the number of options here, change the filter, go to sharp, soft, normal, we'll use normal. I can change the controller layout, full size or normal, and then change the frame. I'll just zip out of here. We're going to go to single player. Now, I do have my GameCube connected using Retro-bit Prism video cables, going through my RetroTink 5X at a 5x inline multiplier, which is why this looks so good. Sounds great, too. Take that, Luigi. Oh, ran into a tree. Watch out for that tree. Button presses feel good, as does the D-pad. Ooh, we are up in first now. All right, held on to it there. DK hot on our heels. We'll take care of him. Ha ha! Just what I needed. Oop. Pushed a little bit wide there. Yeah, button presses feel good, and so does the D-pad. D-pad feels really, really good. Liking this a lot. Now, one thing we're going to do is I'm going to hit the ZR button here. What a lot of people don't realize is you don't have to power cycle the GameCube with the Game Boy player to change games. Just go to Change Game Pack, and would I like to quit? Do I want to? Yes, I do. Now I can change the game pack. Now we'll dive into the original Super Mario Land. The one thing about this game is just how floaty it feels and how different it feels from just about any other Mario Brothers game. It also, Mario's movements just feel, I think I've described in the past as staccato, where like it's an on-off. It's not as fluid, basically. And part of it just, it was the first Mario game on Game Boy. It was the first console version of the game. Ah! I had my own fault there. But overall, this is performing very, very well for, on an action platformer. And the question is, do I want to go for the high? Yeah, I will go up here. There we go. There we go. Working very well with standard Game Boy games, too. I always thought that it was amazing that you could play Mario 1, 2, and 3 plus Super Mario World on the GBA. It was awesome. It was so good. And the fact that this definitely felt more like the All-Stars ROM than what we got on the NES. Plus, you got things like the voice that you didn't get on the NES version. This was, really an enhanced version of all 3 games. Even the music is better on this than I feel on the Super NES or on the NES for that matter. And it kind of makes sense since it was actually the GBA was a more powerful system. I believe it was a 32-bit system, wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong on that down in the comments. Well, that stunk. All right, so that plays terrifically. Now let's go ahead. Let's test it out on the Wii. So now I am super especially glad about that 10-foot-long cord because of the distance back to my Wii is even further because it's all the way back on the far left-hand corner of my setup here. So we are going to go through the Mega Man Anniversary Collection. Now it is important to note that not all of the Wii titles will basically work with this controller. You do have to have something that's essentially compatible with the GameCube controller to begin with. And even though I am terrible at this, we are going to go to Metal Man's level real quick. So I would think, too, like one of the things I tried and just verified that it did not work is the fact that it will not work with, like, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, just not compatible with it. Now, to connect this up, I do have my, my system. Wow, I'm terrible right now. Connected to HD Retrovision component video cables. Yes! Going through my RetroTink 5X set to 5 times scaling, so that's why you are seeing this nice of a display right now. I am not playing well. I am not a Mega Man expert by any stretch of the imagination, though. And I do have the actual collection for the GameCube, and that's what we're playing here. Now, that is one of the limitations kind of with this is you do need to make sure that, when you are playing GameCube games through the Wii, that it is something compatible with a D-pad and does not need that analog stick. All right, got through there a lot better that time. See, definitely not the controller. It is me just being bad at this game. I'm going to pause here and do Turbo and A. There we go. That's what we wanted. That's what we needed. Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. Forgot that this had turbo for a moment. Don't feel like getting drilled here. But yeah, working fantastically on the Wii. This thing is where I'm going to definitely appreciate having the turbo. Because with those guys, if you don't kill them and they go off screen, they do respawn on you, which sucks. Got hit by that guy. Ooh, I was surprised I made that jump. He's got some life there. I hate that thing. It always reminds me of Bender. Oh! All right, one more game. And with the Wii here, one of the games. Again, anytime that we do any kind of controller tests, we check it out on Street Fighter, and we're going to pick Ryu here. And I did go through and remap my buttons, so if I suck, I suck. All right, there we go. Just need to get out of the corner. Got him! Pretty good there. The only thing I did not pull off there was the dragon uppercut. So let's see if we can pull it off this time. Oh, we both thought the same thing there. Oh, he's got me cornered. Yeah, can't pull off the dragon uppercut. Yeah, not able to do it. Gotta manage to pull that off. So in the end, what do I think of the Retro-bit LegacyGC? Well, this has a lot going for it that, quite frankly, I don't know that you need to spend the money for this anymore. I mean, this has great precision. The D-pad feels awesome. The button presses are responsive. It has that built-in turbo on it. I didn't use the different macros for the left stick and the C-stick mode, but I'm not going to use it for that anyways. I'm going to use it with the Game Boy player on my GameCube. Now, it also even worked with the Wii. You have to use it with D-pad and GameCube compatible games to be able to take advantage of it. But overall, this is fantastic, and for $20, get out of here. Now, if you want to pick one of these up, I will have links down below where you can do so and pick up either the indigo or the black from CastlemaniaGames.com. Try promo code ROCKSOLID10 at checkout. I'm not sure if that's going to save you 10% or not, but it will save you 10% off of most items on the website. And if you want to check out some of the other videos we've done talking about Retro-bit controllers, accessories, and more, I'll have those linked in the upper corner as you see here. And man, this is fantastic. This is definitely something, if you love playing Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color through your Game Boy player on your GameCube, there's a lot of games there. This is definitely something you need to check out.